Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. Today is September 9th, 2025, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights today, yes, gold does it again, trading to new all-time record highs. Now, breaking down the markets, there's no major economic event scheduled for today. So starting with the Forex symbol, the British pound is sitting on its resistance level. We're going to take a look at that. Looking at the indices, really unchanged day to day. Looking at commodities, yes, gold made those new highs, and crude oil gets a decent bounce. Now looking at the stocks, they're really mixed, and that's probably why the markets are really unchanged day to day. But lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin inches to resistance level as well. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the GBP USD. Now we're looking at a 4-hour chart. You can see it at 135.70-ish level, and it is on resistance-ish level. You could see it a little bit clearer once you kind of zoom out on a daily chart. And if it breaks up above, that's going to be a breakout. We may see ourselves back in that 137-ish level. So that's really important to look at it. Now looking at Japanese yen, it's doing the inverse, and this is finally breaking out of its character, meaning it's been a very tight range. And it's been very choppy. So if it does break lower here, okay, versus the US dollar, okay, which means that it's getting actually stronger versus US dollar, that may still happen. Now jumping into commodities, let's take a look at gold. Wow, wow. 36.58 is its high. It's trading right now at 36.50. It means it retraced a little bit, which is totally fine. Let's see if it does push that one time again, okay? It does look like it's tapering off, and that's what gold does. Gold goes, tapers off or sells off, and then tapers back. It's very choppy, but as long as it's hugging its 8-day moving average, that's usually your telltale sign. You want to be around that area, and possibly pick it up when it's just below it, okay, for that advantage as it goes higher. Now looking at crude oil, yes, it got a little bit of a bounce here at 63.44, but nothing really to write home about. Looking at the U.S. markets, unchanged. NASDAQ is on its highs, okay? Not making new highs, but on its highs, and so is the Dow Jones, just there, okay? It looks like it's going to pivot for a move, okay, as it's creating itself what we call a wedge formation, right? That's one way to look at it, and this is the other way to look at it. And there you go. That's your wedge formation, and it may have an extreme push either to the upside or sideways, okay? So keep that in mind. Now looking at the individual stocks, let's play it out, all right? Let's break down Alcoa, as that has been a relatively strong stock, okay, as it's made back some real estate, and it's hovering around its breakout area. And coming to show you that some of Trump's plan of increasing tariffs abroad is working out. Now, it hasn't cleared itself through Supreme Court, and this is what's holding this stuff back, because the U.S. might not actually be able to do it, which would set the U.S. back, okay, ironically. Now looking at Apple, yes, it did retrace after that nice push-up, and everything else is just, really mixed, okay? If we look at JP Morgan, it did retrace a bit, okay, from our 304 high. If we look at Microsoft, it did sell off after pushing out higher. One second, on a 4-hour chart, it continued selling off, okay, so that is actually showing some weakness as it's going lower than its intended gap up position of 511, so it's trading at 498. That's bearish, okay, especially as we crossed over the 8-day moving average over the 30-day moving average. That's the red line that crossed over the blue line. Okay, so these things are happening. Okay, if we look at JP Morgan, yes, it sold off like I mentioned before. Amazon was strong last week. It's holding itself up. Okay, so consumer goods are still being sold, and this is super important. All right, now lastly, let's take a look at NVIDIA, as that retraced from its all-time record highs of 181 down to 166. So the question is whether or not these stocks are going to pull down the markets altogether, or they're not. Okay, they're going to go back to their highs, but something has to be correlated here properly, because they're not correlated right now. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.
My advice, this is the best time to trade.